Well, we know Xbox games have been going everywhere lately, particularly to PlayStation as well as Nintendo, even. So a lot of people are wondering, is that ever going to be like a two-way street? And I'm sad to say it probably will never be a two-way street in terms of first-party games. Yes, there are some caveats, obviously with Sony, Major League Baseball, who own the rights to the Major League Baseball franchise. They told Sony that they needed to make MLB The Show multi-platform, or else they were going to give the Major League Baseball license to EA, and that would have cost Sony quite a bit, so now Sony makes that game multi-platform. Not something that they necessarily wanted to do, but was more or less they had no choice but to do that. The other thing would be a situation with the forthcoming game from Bungie, as we all know, Marathon, and that game itself is going to be a multi-platform game. The reason being is that before Bungie was bought out, their stipulation was that they had to remain multi-platform, and so that's why that game's coming to Xbox. It's not because Sony is so keen to put games on Xbox. So, I know a lot of people think that or whatever, but definitely not the case. And it's just one of those things that is going to, some people try to point to those things as reasons why. But that doesn't mean that third-party games that are exclusive will never come to Xbox, because we've seen that happen before with like Sifu and things like that. Yes, those games are were exclusives at certain points to PlayStation, and that happens to Xbox all the time too. A lot of times you'll see a game end up exclusive on there for 6 months or whatever. It tends to happen a lot the other way, a lot more, but still. And so now we do have a game that is coming to Xbox, and we have a confirmation of this. Kena Bridge of Spirits is coming to Xbox in August. This game was released on PlayStation back in 2021. Gorgeous game, really good looking game, fun game, all that kind of stuff. Kena Bridge of Spirits has officially been announced for Xbox consoles. Following the ESRB's publication of a rating back in April for an Xbox version, developer Ember Lab has now confirmed that the game is coming to Microsoft's consoles. The game will be released on Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One on August 15th. And the Xbox version will include exclusive content, including pirate-themed rot hats, a unique Kena staff, and a golden rot skin. The Series X version will also get a physical premium edition, which will include a digital soundtrack and sticker sheet. This is what they had to say. We're thrilled to bring Kena to new audiences on Xbox platforms, according to Ember Lab COO Josh Greer. As our debut game, Kena means a great deal to everyone at the studio, and the team is excited to share Kena's journey with more players. We really hope everyone enjoys meeting Kena and her rot friends. Now, Kena was originally released on PS5, PS4, and PC back in September 2021, and was generally well received by critics, garnering a score of 81. So, that's not a bad score, and this was their first game, so obviously that is something that, is nothing to kind of take a backful at her. It's a really good score. So the game actually challenges players to untangle the past as Kena, a young spirit, guide in search of the sacred mountain shrine, as they help free the spirits trapped in a forgotten village with the help of the Rot, her adorable yet powerful spirit companions. Now, I love this game. I thought it was really good. This is a game that, again, a lot of people thought it was very, very difficult game. I didn't think that it was difficult, but I played it on, I think the easiest setting. So it wasn't too bad. I think at the end of the day, it's one of those situations where people said it was like a completely different game if you played it on, the harder levels and things like that. So if you're a person that really wants a challenge, there is definitely that. So we'll have to wait and see about, kind of what's happening in the future, whatever. But nice to see that Xbox is getting stuff like that. Like I said, we've seen this before with games like Sifu and things. What will this mean for the future? I don't really know, but it is nice to see that some people look at Xbox as a viable platform, and think, hey, why not put the game on Xbox? Because that is certainly, in my opinion, a bit of a worry due to the fact that Microsoft is kind of screwed or whatever in terms of their exclusive games or whatever. So Microsoft is one of those situations where, people are kind of looking at them a situation where they are kind of down and out. I know for a fact that Microsoft, they probably have a lot to show. They probably think that a lot of what they're going to show is going to really sway people or whatever, but I can't really believe that that's going to really do much if they don't come out and say something along the lines of hey, this is exclusive. I think that's something that they have to be able to go out there and kind of dictate to people and say, hey, you know what, this is going to be exclusive. We gotta, like, even if this is the case, right? And even if it's the case, I'm not saying I would be happy about it, but you know where you stand. Like, to me, knowing where you stand is everything. So if they come out and go, okay, established franchises that have already been multi-platform, your Dooms, your Elder Scrolls, your what have you, those will be continuing to be multi-platform games. Fair enough. Yeah, that sucks. But then at least you know that, your own stuff is going to stay exclusive, right? Like, I think that would be a fair enough thing, So, okay, Elder Scrolls, that's going to be on PlayStation. The next Fallout's going to be on PlayStation, right? Okay, but at the same point, Starfield stays exclusive. If they come out with another new IP, hey, that stays exclusive. But the thing is, the fact that they put stuff like Hi-Fi Rush on PlayStation really kind of shows you that, they don't really particularly care that much, Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's still a bit of a bummer. I hope that they kind of get that straightened out. But this is a big step, in my opinion, on getting an exclusive game that was exclusive anyway on PlayStation, and now it is on Xbox. So, love to see that. And, again, I think that it just goes to show that, Microsoft does have at least a viable platform right now. We don't know if that's going to change too much in the future. I can't imagine, if Microsoft is indeed in a situation where they're really kind of falling behind with, what's going on with the console sales and things like that. I would think that would put them in a pretty rough state going forward, and that's something that I think most of us don't want to see, because realistically, at the end of the day, they need to have a viable platform for people. So I would hope that that's the case, that they have some kind of viable platform for Xbox. But I don't know if that's going to be the case going forward. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see how that kind of turns out. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this. You can sound off and let me know down below. I'll link this. You can check it out. Kena is a good game. Check it out. Trust me on that. Let me know what you think. Rack 'em up. Prep Gamer out.